1 John 2:20 says, "You have an anointing from the Kodesh one, and you know all." What is an anointing? We know the word in English. Let's take a look at the Aramaic Hebrew meaning through the odiot. I've got it here. Come on. Shalom, my friends. Joe asked me to do an odiot study on the word anointing as seen in 1 John 2:20 and 2:27. So first, let's read it. Yochanan 1, that's 1 John chapter 2, verse 20. "And you have an anointing from the Kadosh one, and you know all." Kadosh, that's the Aramaic Hebrew word. Most Bibles say holy. Let's look at chapter 2, verse 27, which reads, "But the anointing which you have received from him stays in you, and you have no need that anyone should teach you. But as the same anointing teaches you concerning all, and is true, and is no falsehood, and even as it has taught you, you stay in him." A lot being said there. The anointing teaches you concerning all. We see also in the Gospels that the Ruach HaKodesh, his indwelling spirit, reveals all to us. Here, through Yochanan, the Ruach is telling us that the anointing teaches us all things and is true, no falsehood. And then even as it has taught you, you stay in him. So, let's look at this word we see in the English as anointing through the odiot. And here's the slide on this one. This may be the largest word I've done yet. There's 7 odiot letters. That would be Mem, Shin, Yod, Chet, Wa, Tau, and Aleph. The Aleph and the Tau are put on the end, kind of like a smaller note the way it appears. The word is pronounced Mshi Chuota. And let's break it down. The first ot is Mem. We've seen this one pretty frequently. It's a picture of water. Water is the word that washes us clean. It also references blood, especially the blood of Yeshua that purchased us. Then we have Shin, picture of 2 front teeth. It has to do with something that's sharp or pressing, or especially something that cuts and divides into 2. Third ot is Yod, picture of an arm and a hand. It has to do with the work or the action of a person. It has to do with worshiping. Then we have Chet, picture of a fence or a gate. Again, it has to do with dividing, but especially the fence. It has to do with protecting. Chet also has to do with the resurrection, the net chetef, the rapture, and chai, and the operation of the gifts of the Ruach. Then we have Wa, picture of a tent peg, pitch your tent with Elohim. It's a picture of a hook. It's what secures the tent. And then tagged on the end, we have the Aleph and the Tau. Tau is a picture of crossed sticks. It marks a location. It's a sign. It's a signature. It's a monument. And Aleph, picture of the ox head, specifically having to do with the Father and with being yoked to your headship. Hopefully that's the Father. So, how do we put this together? We're talking about those who receive an anointing, and through that anointing, they are taught concerning all things, the truth, with no falsehood. And we're told you don't need a teacher because of the indwelling Ruach, because of this anointing. The first oat is water, the blood of Yeshua, being washed clean by the Word. This is how we begin to receive the indwelling Ruach. This is how we begin to receive the anointing. The second oat, Sheen, it's a matter of cutting and dividing in two, separating those who are of the good seed from those who are of the bad seed. Those who worship Elohim, they receive the anointing. Those who are of the bad seed, they worship the world, the things of the world, false gods, what have you. They do not receive the anointing. The third oat, Yod. This is what reveals who is of the good seed and who is not, because Yod, picture of an arm and a hand, has to do with a person's work, their actions, who they worship. And, of course, if you worship Elohim, if anyone worships Elohim, it's revealed through their work and their actions. What do they do? What do they make? And you can see through someone's actions and their work if they worship Elohim or if they worship the world. You know, we started off with Mem, how to receive the anointing. Those who do receive the anointing through the Word, Yeshua, they're divided, Sheen, separated. You know who they are by their works and their actions, Yod. And we come to Chet, those who worship Elohim. They are protected. They are surrounded because they belong to the Father. And will be a part of the resurrection, the Nechetef. They will have the operation of the gifts of the Ruach. Again, that goes back to Yod. Their work and their actions are going to have to do with the operation of the gifts of the Ruach also being revealed through their work and their actions. And then we have Wa, the tent peg. Not only do they pitch and secure their tent with Elohim, but Elohim pitches a tent and secures it with them. And then finally, tagged on the end, we have the Aleph and the Tau. The Tau, picture of two crossed sticks. This person is marked. They have the sign of Elohim marked on them. They have his signature on them. They are a monument to him. And Aleph, of course, it's him, Abba, Father. They are yoked to him. He is their headship. And Aleph has to do with being taught by headship, and that's what the anointing is all about. Aleph points at strength and power. So what is this anointing that we can receive, which reveals all truth to us with no falsehoods attached, where we don't need anyone to teach us because he is operating in us and revealing everything to us that we need to have revealed to us. Why? Because of Mem. We are washed by His word. We have been purchased by His blood. Sheen, we have been separated from the world. We are not of this world. Been separated. Yod, our work and our actions reveal who we are and who we worship. Chet, he's got his Gader HaKodesh, his hedge of protection surrounding us. We are protected from the world. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have trials and tribulations. Yeshua said, as long as you are in this world, you will face trials and tribulations. But be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. You have His Gader HaKodesh surrounding you and protecting you, even though you face trials and tribulations and you go through difficulties, they will not destroy you. You are protected. Why? Because He's pitching His tent with you. Because you're pitching a tent with Him. And that's Wah. And then Aleph and Tau, you are marked. You have His signature on you, and you worship, and you are yoked to the Father. There's our study for this week, my friends. That is what it means to have His anointing on you. And I pray that you do. I pray that this teaching is a berekah to you. Thank you, my friends, for your support. Shalom.
I could tell the truth and you wouldn't believe. I'm standing here shining this light when